What was the story with you guys? I don't know if you were with Bam, but you were telling a story about like some Samoan trans dude in a hotel room.
Yeah. I was on the Howard Stern show, and you know, I had been up for several days doing cocaine, and the Howard Stern show was done in New York at the time, and it happens very early, like 5 a.m. to be in the studio, and of course, the logical approach to being there at 5 in the morning is just to stay up and do coke all night.
Right. Don't go to sleep.
Totally. So I did that, and we go in, and the show came out amazing. It did really well, like insanely high ratings. And the ratings were like great. And I talked on there about wanting to get blown by a transsexual because I was like, you know, it seemed like a great idea. It seemed like, you know, everything would be amazing about it. That's probably what they do the majority of their experiences, you know, when they're portraying a woman, is just give lots of blowjobs. They'd be great at it, whatever.
They'd be better at giving blowjobs?
I think they'd be, you know, more in tune with it.
Right, because they understand what it takes to get a good blowjob.
And, you know, they're men, you know, disguising themselves as women.
Right.
So, obviously, they're not going to fuck a lot. Mm-hmm. So, I'd imagine their go-to will be oral. Mm-hmm. That's my guess. And so we're in Australia, and we're doing a fuckface tour. And one of the promoters asked if we needed anything, and that was another tour that I got kicked off of for just being way too high and buying Oxycontins, and I got caught with them. But nonetheless, Bam's like, yes, we need a transsexual that's willing to blow Novak. And we get back to the hotel, and lo and behold, there's a knock at the door, and there's this transsexual, and the transsexual's pimp. And in my mind, what I envisioned a transsexual to look like was this very attractive woman that, you know, remember that Maury show, the talk show? Mm-hmm. Is it a man or is it a woman? Remember that talk show? Like Howard Stern, like Jerry Springer? Mm-hmm. Like really good looking men that look like women, and in my mind, that's what it was going to be if it ever came to fruition.
You wouldn't even be able to tell. It's so good.
Yeah, like, dude, you'd be jealous for not partaking. In my mind, is how this was going to look if it ever happened.
Lost.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And lo and behold, it happened, and it did not play out at all like I predicted it would. The transsexual was just like this, like Samoan guy that didn't really look like a girl and looked like he played like a linebacker for a football team. And there was like a pimp there, and it was just really weird. And I had been on cocaine for like days, and I'm like paranoid and delusional at this point. And I used to watch that TV show Cops a lot, and I love when they would do the prostitution stings. They get a hotel room next. An adjoining
next
room,
door.
Right. And the John would come in with the chick, and then all of a sudden the police would barge through the door. And I'm like, fuck, this is going to happen. Well, before that, everyone went into the bathroom, the pimp included, everyone from the party. Because I was there? Yeah, he had to go to the bathroom. Everyone had to go in the bathroom because I was engaged at the time. And I didn't want word to get back to my fiance that I'm getting blown by not only a hooker, but like a transsexual hooker. So everyone's in the bathroom so no one can see or take pictures. And
wait, why? What was in it for? Why did you agree to do it? Just because?
Well, because I was on the Howard Stern show, and that's a good goddamn story to tell.
Oh, okay.
That I would love to do that. You know, just like. And at the time, I was like, yeah, whatever, sure, it'd be rad. But basically, my mouth wrote a check. My ass did not want to cash.
Yeah.
Is what it came down to.
Yourself in deep.
Yeah, you know, you're just consumed by the moment, and the energy. And you're like, I'll do it. And you're like, no.
Didn't want to be a coward.
Yeah, I walked way too far to get out of this one. And so everyone's in the bathroom, and I'm like delusional. I'm starting to become paranoid. I haven't slept for almost 5 days, and I'm believing. I sit on a chair, and she sits on a chair, and I don't know what to say or do. And I'm like, if you're a cop, just arrest me now, because I'm envisioning like the doors and the police.
Yeah.
She said, I'm not a cop. She said, let's go to the bed. And I'm like, well, why would we go to the bed? There's nothing to do in the bed. Like, no. And then she kind of starts to crawl over and perform the act, but I like to talk dirty, like when in that position, and that's not really. My mind can't get there, and I
This
just
is
want
a
this.
tough one.
I just want it over with, so bad, so bad.
Oh. How
Somehow,
long did it take
it
to
didn't
finish?
take long.
Really?
I pulled it together, man. I pulled it together. I've been in uncomfortable situations before, so it's not like the first. And I've had during addiction, men blow me for money before.
Right.
But that was by force. This is almost by choice in a weird roundabout way.
With your friends in the bathroom.
And the pimp, this big pimp guy in the bathroom. It's just, I'm on blow. I'm in Australia.
Oh my God.
So the
dude.
deed is done. They come out, and then to make matters worse, when they're leaving the hotel room, one of them swiped. Bam had this big platinum heartogram necklace that this jeweler made and gifted him, really expensive platinum, and they swiped that too. So this whole thing cost probably it was at least 20 grand worth of just adding the cost of the necklace.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So the moral of the story is, do not get blown by a tranny in Australia.
No.
They don't look
Or
like what
maybe
you think
do,
they would.
man. Everyone has a king, man. That's someone's. Not mine.
Oh God! But you were a veteran at that point, though. You knew kind of
Yeah.
how is there a process for you to get yourself out of your head when that's happening? I just need this guy to blow me so I can get some heroin. It's gonna be over.
Yeah,
in 5 minutes.
It is. It's just kind of you disconnect. I
That's so weird.
disassociate. Really.
Yeah.
I've spent. I've been in solitary confinement where I was locked in a cell for 23 hours a day. Allowed out one time a day for an hour, Monday through Friday, in handcuffs and shackles. And I've done that. I've been homeless. I've slept in abandoned houses. I've had to piss and shit into one of those Home Depot buckets. I've done the prostitution thing. I've completely destroyed my mother's hopes and dreams to have a safe child. So I've been around the block a lot of times, so I'm pretty good at thank God I'm not like that now. I don't have to disassociate from anything, and I actually really appreciate and am grateful for the process in which things take place in. And I'm so much in that zone now that when the littlest of thing gets me off my game, I almost shake physically. I can tell, I'm just so disconnected from being that guy that I once was. That I'm just such a changed man.
Wow, dude.